Hi, today we are going to study about the passive voice. Passive voice is the opposite position of active sentence. So, in the active sentence, the subject is the doer. But in the passive voice, the object in the active sentence is put to the beginning of the sentence in the subject position. We use the passive voice when the object of the active sentence is the focus or more important than the subject in the active sentence. Okay, we use the passive voice when the object in the active sentence is the focus or more important than the subject in the active sentence. So basically we change the position, subject and object in the active sentence. We move the position in reverse. In the last lesson, you studied about this fact file. So we have passive voice here, but then again you have to understand the context. So the passive voice, they exist in all tenses. The passive voice exists in all tenses. So take a look at this. Today, mobile phones are owned by almost 6 billion people worldwide. Are owned. This is the passive, this is the character of passive voice. Okay. Are sold. This is the character of passive voice. So basically, what's the character of passive voice? There is the to be and verb 3. To be and verb 3. To be and past participle, we say that. Okay, to be and past participle. Remember, this to be and past participle or verb 3 is the very specific character of passive voice. Okay, this is very specific. To be and verb 3. Why is that? Because in the active sentence, all to be is paired with the verb ing. In the active sentences, all to be's are paired with the verb ing. But in the passive voice, the to be is paired with the past participle or verb 3. So for just to refresh your memory, so in the verbs there are 3 forms of the verbs. Okay, the first form, verb 1, the original, and the second verb form, we use that actually for the simple past tense, and the last one is the third form, the verb 3, the past participle. You might need to check what's the format of the verb 3, the past participle. You might also need to check the verb 3, the verb, whether it's regular or irregular verbs. So we are going to use is the verb 3 on the passive voice. Take a look at this again. Are owned. This is the passive voice of simple present tense or past simple. Present simple. Are sold also the passive voice of present simple. Take a look. There is the to be, and verb 3. To be and verb 3. This to be is the present to be. Present to be. That's why I know it. Okay, this is the present simple or the simple present. And the next sentence is the first text message was sent in 1989. Last year, 6.1 trillion texts were sent worldwide. So this is the past simple, passive voice, or simple past. The past simple or the simple past of passive voice. Take a look. That this is the to be and verb 3. To be and verb 3. Now let's go to the next sentence. Camera phones have been sold since 2002. Camera phones have been sold since 2002. So this is another passive voice. But what is the tense? This is the present perfect passive voice. How do I know that this is present perfect? Because there is the have. There is the word have as the auxiliary, not the real verb. There is the have. Take a look. This is the have, and the to be of present perfect, been. And here is the verb 3. Sold. Have, the auxiliary, been, that's the to be, and sold, this is the verb 3. Next sentence. Smartphones were introduced in 2007. The mobile phone had become a multimedia gadget. This is, what do you think? What passive voice is this? Well, this is the past simple or the simple past passive voice. How do I know? There is the to be of the past. Was and were, that's the to be of the past. And there is the verb 3, regular verbs. So this is the past simple, but the passive voice of the past simple or simple past. Next sentence. Over the years, a multitude of amazing features have been added, including internet browsing, email, MP3 players, video, and camera. So this is another passive voice. But what is the tense? Yeah, this is the present perfect passive voice. present perfect passive voice. Because why? There is the have, the to be, been, and the verb 3 added. So remember, the passive voice is necessary when the object in the active sentence, is more important or necessary, or the focus. So we put the object of the active sentence in the beginning of the sentence, and usually the subject in the active sentence is put at the end of the sentence. So the position is reversed. And the character of passive voice, to be, depends on the tense itself. Okay, depends on the tense. So we have the present, to be, am, is, and are. The past to be's, was and were. The perfect to be, we have the word been. The future to be, for the will, we have the word be. So usually in the active sentence, the to be, remember, in the active sentence, the to be is paired with the verb ing, but in the passive voice, the to be is paired with the verb 3, and the position of the subject and the object in the active sentence is reversed. Okay, why is that? Because the object in the active sentence is more important, or the object in the active sentence is the focus. Okay. Take a look at the sentence here. I'm turning off my camera. These are 8 sentences of active sentence. Martin Cooper, number 1, Martin Cooper made the first mobile phone call in 1973. So this is the active sentence. Now let's make it into passive voice. Okay, in the active sentence, this is the object, the subject, and this is the object. So in the passive voice, we switch their positions. More, the object becomes in the beginning of the sentence, and the subject is at the end of the sentence. So that's the point of the passive voice. Okay, let's make number 1 into the passive voice. Martin Cooper made the first mobile phone call in 1973. All right, so the first mobile phone call, okay, the first mobile phone call, this is the object. Okay, the first mobile phone call, that's the object. So let's make it into the passive voice. The first mobile phone call, the first mobile phone call Okay, well, let's make some more space here. The first mobile phone call, what's the to be of the past? Was made by Martin Cooper. in 1973. Let's make some more space here. So the first, okay, make it red. The first mobile phone call was made by Martin Cooper in 1973. Let's check them. So take a look. The object in the active sentence becomes the subject in the passive voice. And the subject in the active sentence becomes, it's in the object position in the passive voice. And take a look that there is the to be and verb 3. Oops. All right, now let's make them all again. In here, I move it in. Okay, I hope you can see it. Okay, number 2. Almost 6 billion people worldwide own mobile phones. This is simple present. Okay, let's make it into passive voice. Mobile phones okay, mobile phones present to be are owned. Are owned by almost 6 billion people worldwide. So this is another passive voice. Mobile phones are owned by almost 6 billion people worldwide. Again, there is the to be of the present, and there is the verb 3. Number 3. Shops in the UK sell 30 million phones every year. Shops in the UK sell 30 million phones every year. So what would be the passive voice of this number 3, the sentence of number 3? Okay, let's do it here. $30 million phones because the simple present are sold by shops in the UK every year. Again, we have the to be of the present and verb 3. They have sold, number 4, they have sold camera phones since 2002. Okay, let's do it here. Wait, what is the tense? Oh, this is present perfect. Present perfect. Okay. Camera phones. I think camera phones have been sold by them. Okay. Camera phones have been sold by them since 2002. Camera phones have been sold. Okay, we have the have been. Been is the to be, and sold is the verb 3. Camera phones have been sold by them since 2002. Number 5, engineers have added a lot of amazing features. Engineers have added a lot of amazing features. A lot of amazing features have been added by engineers. A lot of amazing features. Oh. Oh. A lot of amazing features have been added by engineers. Engineers have added a lot of amazing features. A lot of amazing features have been added by engineers. So again, there is the been as the to be, and there is the verb 3, add, added. A lot of amazing features have been added by engineers. So this is the passive voice. Again, you need to remember that the position of the subject and object in the active sentence, they are switch the position. Okay, the subject in the active sentence is moved to the object position, and the object in the active sentence is moved to the subject position. But then again, because the focus is on the object of the active sentence. Sometimes the doer, which is actually the subject in the active sentence, sometimes is not mentioned. Sometimes is not mentioned. Because why? The doer sometimes is no longer necessary. The doer is no longer important or necessary. Why is that? Because the focus onto the object of the active sentence. Let's take a look there. The sentence is back. Camera phones have been sold. Okay. Camera phones have been sold by them since 2002. So, because the object in the active sentence, the object of the active sentence, which is actually moved to the subject position in the passive voice, the camera phones is more important here. Sometimes you will find the passive voice, it doesn't mention the doer. Because why? Because what's in the subject, which is actually the object in the active sentence, is more important. So sometimes you will find the doer is not mentioned. Camera phones have been sold since 2002. So this sentence also correct. But again, you need to understand that this is the passive voice. So the doer is not important. Or like this. This the last sentence. A lot of amazing features, a lot of amazing features have been added by engineers. Sometimes the doer is not mentioned because the doer is no longer important. So that's the point of passive voice. So, oops. And this sentence, a lot of amazing features have been added. This is also a correct sentence. The doer is not important anymore. So this is another passive voice without doer mentioned. Well, I hope you understand about this. Remember the character of passive voice, to be, verb 3. You gotta nail the verb 3 too, okay? You have to understand which one is regular, which one is irregular. You gotta nail them. You have to memorize them. Okay, the to be and verb 3. And sometimes the doer is not mentioned because the doer is no longer important. Why is that? Because the object in the active sentence, which is actually moved to the beginning of the sentence of the passive voice, to the subject position, is much important than the doer. Okay, well, you have an Edmodo exercise. I suggest you do it after breaking your fasting. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.